is she crying? Why is she crying? Go and lock her up.
They said the child was different. Not in a way people celebrate, in a way people hide. From the beginning, something about her made the house uncomfortable. She didn't cry like other children, didn't laugh loudly, didn't demand attention. She just existed, and that was the problem. Relatives whispered when they thought she couldn't hear. Neighbors asked questions the family didn't like. What's wrong with the child? Why is she always quiet? Why doesn't she come outside? The family decided early, let her stay inside. It's better that way. People don't need to see her. They called it protection, but it wasn't. It was shame. So the child was given a room at the back of the house, small, dim, with a single window. That window became her world. Every morning she sat there, chin resting on her knees, eyes pressed against the glass. Outside, life was happening. Children chased each other across the compound, feet dusty, laughter loud, arguments that ended in smiles. Food was cooked in big pots, voices rose, names were called, but never hers. She watched cousins grow taller, watched them go to school in clean uniforms, watched them return with stories. No one ever asked her how her day went. When visitors came, the door to her room was closed. Stay inside, don't make noise, don't come out. Sometimes she heard laughter in the sitting room, sometimes music, sometimes prayers. She learned to recognize happiness by sound. Food reached her quietly, placed on the floor. No conversation, no eye contact, not cruelty, just neglect. And that was worse, because neglect teaches a child something dangerous, that her pain is normal, that her absence is acceptable, that asking for love is a burden. So the child stopped asking. She didn't cry, didn't complain, didn't rebel. She watched, she listened, she learned silence. And the family, they adjusted easily. Life went on. Birthdays, weddings, laughter, as if the child behind the window was already erased, as if hiding her made her disappear. Years passed. Quietly, without ceremony, the girl grew, not the way children usually grow, loud, messy, demanding space. She grew inward, her body stretched, her face changed, but her world stayed the same. The same room, the same window, the same view of life happening without her. Days turned into routines. Wake up, sit by the window, watch the sun move across the yard, listen to footsteps that never came to her door. She learned people by sound. She knew who was angry by the way they walked, who was happy by the way they laughed, who was disappointed by the silence that followed them. She noticed things others didn't. She saw patterns, understood moods, read tension before words were spoken. No one taught her this. Silence did. The family stopped mentioning her altogether. New relatives came and went without knowing she existed. Visitors praised the family, prayed with them, laughed with them, and behind the wall, the girl listened. She never asked why. Children who asked get noticed, and being noticed had never helped her. So she accepted invisibility. Food still came, clothes still appeared, but love was never scheduled. At night, when the house slept, she lay awake, listening to breathing through walls, wondering what it felt like to be wanted. She didn't hate them. Hate requires energy. She simply observed. She learned patience, learned restraint, learned how to survive without being seen. By the time the family remembered her age, she had already become something else, not broken, not bitter, just ready, ready in a way no one noticed, ready in silence, ready for the day the world that ignored her would finally need her. It didn't happen all at once. Loss never does. First, money became tight. The kind of tight that turns conversations into arguments. Then sickness came. One person, then another. Hospital visits replaced celebrations. Prayer points replaced laughter. The house grew heavy. What once worked stopped working. The business failed. The job disappeared. Promises from friends became excuses. Relatives who once visited often suddenly had reasons not to come. The family tried everything. They borrowed, they begged, they blamed each other. Old wounds opened, hidden resentments found voices. The father grew quiet, the mother grew tired. Siblings fought over small things. Even prayers felt unanswered. And still, no one remembered the girl. She stayed in her room, listening, watching the same faces age faster than they should, watching confidence turn into fear. She noticed something else. Desperation changes people. Voices became sharp. Decisions became rushed. Hope became fragile. One night, the family sat in silence. Bills on the table. Medicine bottles half empty. No solutions left. That was when someone finally said it. A name that hadn't been spoken in years. The girl's name. The room went still, as if they had remembered something they were supposed to forget. And behind the wall, the girl heard everything. She didn't panic, didn't rush, didn't feel anger. She had been waiting for this moment longer than they realized. The door opened, not loudly, not dramatically, just enough. The girl stepped out, thinner than they remembered, taller than they expected, eyes calm, voice steady, no tears, no anger, no questions. She looked at the faces that once avoided her, faces now tired, afraid, out of answers. They didn't know what to say. She did. All these years, she said softly, I was listening. Silence filled the room. She told them what she had learned, how she watched, how she noticed patterns, how she understood problems before they were spoken. She didn't speak like a child. She spoke like someone who had survived quietly. She explained the mistake that ruined the business, the debt that was growing in the wrong direction, the lie no one wanted to admit. One by one, the truth landed. The room changed, not because of miracles, not because of magic, because of clarity. They followed her guidance, slowly, carefully, and it worked. The sickness eased, the debt reduced, peace returned, the family survived because of the girl they once hid. No celebration followed, just shame. Regret sat heavier than poverty ever did. They looked at her differently now, not as a problem, but as the answer. She didn't ask for an apology. She didn't demand love. She simply said, I forgive you, not because they deserved it, but because she deserved peace. She chose distance, not bitterness, freedom, not revenge. And as she walked away from the house that once erased her, the lesson remained. The child you hide may be the one that saves you.